Ahoy there, mateys, welcome to our show. WKRD Radio. We steal the glow, funny, whimsical pirates. Raspy voices rise, laughing at Captain Golddigger. What a surprise! Petey the dragon, he's got quite a roar. Flying around, but we're stuck on the floor. Ariana's pretty, Brandon's just tacky, while Mr. Whistler makes us all feel cranky. We're not the crew, just maintenance fools, fixing the leaks while you sing the rules. Angry and loud, we'll make our stand. WKRD, we're taking command. On dreams, but we're stuck in the grind. Captain Golddigger's treasures are all in his mind. Petey breathes fire, but we've got the spark, turning the station into a wild theme park.
All right, welcome back to the Golddigger Show, folks. Today, we're diving into the wild, genre-bending world of 2000s rock. Golddigger, you ready to set sail through some musical chaos?
Aye, Brandon. Me compass is spinning, me rum is full, and Petey's already chewing on a drumstick. The 2000s, eh? That be the decade where rock music went all topsy-turvy. Emo, nu metal, indie, garage rock. It was like a pirate ship with too many captains.
Exactly. I mean, you had Linkin Park fusing rock, hip-hop, and electronic stuff. Hybrid Theory was everywhere. Then Green Day comes back swinging with American Idiot, turning punk into a full-blown rock opera. And the Strokes? They just stroll in with Is This It, and suddenly everyone wants to be in a garage band again.
Ah, I remember when Petey tried to start his own garage band. Only problem was, he ate the garage. But you're right, mate. Every band was mixing up the stew. Linkin Park's in the end still gets me singing, or well, shouting, after a few too many mugs of rum.
And don't forget the nu metal versus emo wars. Actually, I gotta confess, I once tried to organize a nu metal versus emo debate at WKRD. Only problem was, I forgot to invite anyone else, so it was just me arguing with myself in two different voices. The boss walked in, thought I'd finally lost it, which honestly, maybe I had.
Ha! That's nothing, Brandon. I once tried to host a battle of the bands on me ship, but the only bands that showed up were Petey and a bunch of seagulls. The seagulls won, by the way. But back to the music. The Strokes, they brought back that raw, simple sound, like a cannon blast in a world of fancy ships. And Green Day, they kept their punk roots, but made it big, bold, and, a bit more sober than me usual state.
Yeah, and it wasn't just those three. You had My Chemical Romance making emo theatrical, Foo Fighters keeping alt-rock alive, and the White Stripes stripping everything down to the basics. It was like every corner of rock was getting a makeover. Or a mutiny, depending on how you look at it.
Mutiny. Now that's a word I understand. But the 2000s were a wild sea for rock. Bands weren't afraid to mix things up, and that's what made it so exciting. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it was a shipwreck, but it was never boring, mate.
So let's talk about the albums that really defined the decade. Hybrid Theory by Linkin Park. Man, that thing sold like, over 27 million copies? In the end, was everywhere. I still get chills when I hear that piano intro.
Aye, and don't forget American Idiot. Green Day went from punk pranksters to storytellers with that one. Boulevard of Broken Dreams. Holiday. Those songs were like anthems for a whole generation of lost souls and, slightly tipsy pirates.
And then you've got Elephant by the White Stripes. Seven Nation Army. I mean, is there a stadium anywhere in the world that doesn't play that riff? It's like the international language of, let's get pumped.
That riff gets stuck in me head for days. But let me tell you, the real tragedy of the 2000s was when Petey mistook me vinyl copy of Is This It for a midnight snack. I spent 3 days searching the ship, only to find the album under his pillow. He said it gave him indie dreams. Whatever that means. Whatever.
That's better than the time I left my American Idiot CD in the car and it melted into a weird punk sculpture. But seriously, these albums weren't just big. They changed the way people thought about rock. Like, the Strokes made it cool to be a little messy, a little raw. Green Day made concept albums cool again. And Linkin Park, they just blew the doors off what you could do with rock and hip-hop together.
And don't forget, mate, these albums had tracks that stuck with you. In the End, Seven Nation Army, Last Night. They're still playing on the radio, still getting folks singing along, even if they weren't born when the albums came out. That's the mark of a true treasure, if you ask me.
Totally. And it's wild how each of these albums had its own vibe, but they all managed to connect with people in a big way. It's like, no matter what corner of rock you were into, there was something for you in the 2000s. Now, if we're talking about revolutions, we gotta mention how the internet changed everything. Arctic Monkeys, for example. They didn't even need radio. They just put their music online and boom, one of the fastest-selling debut albums in UK history. I Bet You Look Good on the Dance Floor. That song was everywhere, and they did it their own way.
The internet be a strange beast. Back in me day, if ye wanted to get famous, ye had to play every tavern from here to Tortuga. Now, you just upload a song and hope the wind carries it. Muse did it too, with their big dramatic sound. Knights of Sidonia. Starlight. They were like space pirates, if you ask me.
And then you had bands like LCD Sound System and Modest Mouse, just pushing boundaries. LCD mixed dance punk and electronic. Modest Mouse had that quirky indie thing going on. Float On was such a weird, wonderful hit. Sometimes I wonder if the internet had been around when I was in my high school band, would I have been a rock star? Or just a meme? Probably a meme, honestly.
Ha! I tried to stream a song once using me compass instead of a computer. All I got was a map to the nearest rum barrel. But you're right, Brandon. The digital age let bands reach fans in ways we never dreamed of. Arctic Monkeys, Muse, LCD Sound System. They all found their own path. And the fans followed them. Not the other way round.
It's kind of wild to think about how much changed in just one decade. The 2000s were like a big experiment, and somehow it all worked. Or at least, it was never boring. And hey, if you're listening and you've got a band, maybe your next big break is just a click away, or a dragon away if you're on Golddigger's ship.
And if you find Petey, tell him to stop eating the records. That's all the time we've got for today, mates. The 2000s rocked the boat, and we're still feeling the waves. Brandon, me hearty, any last words before we set sail for next week?
Just that I can't wait to see what musical mischief we get into next time. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Keep your playlists wild and your minds open. Don't forget to grab our phone app at WKRDradio.com. That's WKRDradio.com. Again, don't forget it, WKRDradio.com. There's lots to do on it. So, see you next episode.
Come on, Mr. Tacky. You went all episode with no tackiness. I won't plunder you this time. Fair winds and loud riffs to ye all. This be Golddigger signing off. Don't let the seagulls steal your headphones. Bye, Brandon.
Just doing my job. Anyway, Ariana told me to add just a little of Mr. Tacky's tackiness at the end just for you. Bye, Golddigger. And bye, Petey, wherever you are.
Why, that little lass. Okay. You both got me. I didn't see it coming, but I did expect it, you scallywags.
Ariana's pretty, Brandon's just tacky, while Mr. Whistler makes us all feel cranky. We'll shout from the rooftops, let the world see. Funny, whimsical pirates, that's who we'll be. We're not the crew, just maintenance fools, fixing the leaks while you sing the rules. Angry and loud, we'll make our stand. WKRD, we're taking command. Join in the fun, let's laugh till we cry, with raspy voices and a wink in our eye. Captain Golddigger can't hold us down. At WKRD, we're the talk of the town.